Have you ever wondered if you're truly in love or just captivated by infatuation? Welcome to Psyche Fascinations, where we unravel the mysteries of the heart and mind. Hi everyone, today we're delving into a topic that's puzzled lovers for centuries. We're exploring the 6 definitive signs that differentiate true love from mere infatuation. This isn't your usual love advice. We're here to challenge your perceptions and deepen your understanding of what love really means. Have you ever felt an instant rush in a relationship only to find yourself questioning the depth of your feelings later? Or perhaps you've been in a partnership where every imperfection seemed magnified, leading to doubts and discomfort? Today, we're not just uncovering the truth behind these feelings. We're embarking on a journey to the heart of what makes relationships tick. From the euphoria of a new romance to the complexities of long-term connections, we're covering it all. So, sit back and let's dive into the fascinating world of love and relationships. And remember, here at Psyche Fascinations, we believe in exploring the depths of human emotions, challenging norms, and most importantly, discovering the true essence of what connects us all. Let's dive into that first point, the idea of rushing into a relationship and how it might indicate infatuation rather than true love. Imagine you're reading an exciting novel. You're so eager to know how it ends that you skip pages, racing towards the conclusion. Sure, you reach the end quickly, but you miss out on the depth of the story, the development of characters, and the beauty of the journey. This is quite like rushing into a relationship. When we meet someone new and feel that instant spark, it's exhilarating. It's like a whirlwind. Everything feels intense and urgent. You want to spend every moment with them, know everything about them, and you quickly start planning a future together. This intensity is often driven by infatuation. It's passionate, but it's more about the excitement and the idea of love rather than love itself. True love, on the other hand, is like a slow-burning flame. It takes time to build and grow. It's about getting to know the other person deeply, not just their likes and dislikes, but understanding their values, their dreams, and even their flaws. It's about building trust and a strong foundation. You don't just jump to the end. You savor each chapter, each moment, learning and growing together. So, when you rush into a relationship, you might be riding the high of infatuation. You're caught up in the thrill of the new and the exciting, but you might be missing the depth, the real connection that takes time to develop. This isn't to say fast-moving relationships can't turn into true love, but it's important to ask yourself, are you in love with the person, or are you in love with the idea of being in love? Taking the time to really get to know each other, to move past just the surface excitement, is what can turn that initial infatuation into a deep, lasting love. Let's delve into the second point, the expectation of perfection in your partner and how it might be more indicative of infatuation than genuine love. Imagine you're an artist creating a painting. In your mind, you have this perfect image, a masterpiece. But as you start to bring it to life, you realize that the actual painting has its unique quirks and imperfections. If you're infatuated with the idea of a perfect painting, you might feel disappointed. But if you truly love the art of painting, you'll appreciate the beauty in these imperfections, seeing them as what makes your work unique and special. This is quite similar to how we sometimes approach relationships. When we're infatuated with someone, we often have this idealized image of who they are. We put them on a pedestal, expecting them to be perfect in every way, always understanding, always saying the right thing, always meeting our needs. But let's face it, no one is perfect. We all have our flaws, our bad days, our little quirks. When you truly love someone, you start to embrace these imperfections. You realize that your partner is a human being with their own set of strengths and weaknesses, just like you. This doesn't mean you ignore significant issues that need addressing. Instead, you understand that these imperfections are part of who they are. You learn to love them, not in spite of their flaws, but including their flaws. It's about seeing the whole person with all their layers and appreciating them for who they truly are. Genuine love brings with it a sense of acceptance and understanding. It's recognizing that your partner might forget to do the dishes, might have a bad temper at times, or might not always know the right thing to say. And it's about loving them still, knowing that you too are loved in your imperfect state. So, if you find yourself constantly disappointed because your partner isn't living up to an idealized image, it might be worth considering whether you're in love with the real person or just the idea of a perfect partner. True love sees and accepts the whole picture, imperfections and all. Alright, let's explore the third point, feeling uncomfortable and self-conscious around your partner, and how this might signal infatuation rather than true love. Imagine you're wearing a brand new outfit, one that looks great but doesn't quite feel like you. You're constantly adjusting it, conscious of how it sits, how it looks. You can't relax because you're not at ease. It's not a true reflection of who you are. This is somewhat akin to how you might feel in a relationship driven more by infatuation than love. When you're infatuated with someone, you often want to present the best version of yourself. You're like an actor on a stage, playing a role you think they'll love. You're careful about what you say, how you act, maybe even how you dress. This constant self-monitoring can make you feel uneasy and self-conscious because you're not being your authentic self. You're trying to fit into an idealized image, worried that showing your true self might make them lose interest. Now compare this to being in a relationship where you feel truly loved. It's like coming home and changing into your favorite, most comfortable clothes. There's a sense of ease and relaxation. You can be goofy, make mistakes, share your fears and dreams, and even reveal your vulnerabilities. Why? Because you know you're accepted and loved for who you are, not just for the polished version of yourself. Genuine love fosters a sense of safety and comfort, where you can let your guard down. You don't have to constantly check yourself or fear judgment for your quirks or slip-ups. It's a space where you can be your true self, warts and all, and still feel embraced. So if you find yourself feeling uneasy, self-conscious, or unable to relax around your partner, it might be a sign that you're in the realm of infatuation. You're performing rather than participating in the relationship. True love, in contrast, allows you to be unapologetically you. It's in this space of authenticity that deep, meaningful connections flourish. Let's tackle the fourth point, growing distance and avoidance in a relationship, and how this could be more indicative of infatuation than genuine love. Think about your favorite hobby or activity, something you're truly passionate about. When you love doing something, you naturally gravitate towards it, you look forward to it, you make time for it, and even when it gets challenging, you stick with it because it brings you joy and fulfillment. Now, let's relate this to relationships. In the early stages of infatuation, everything about the other person seems fascinating. You want to spend every moment with them, and you can't get enough of each other. But as time goes by, if this connection is more about infatuation than love, you might start to notice a shift. Instead of looking forward to seeing them, you might begin to find reasons to avoid them. You might prefer spending time alone or with others, rather than with your partner. This growing distance can be both emotional and physical. Genuine love, in contrast, tends to deepen over time. It's like nurturing a plant. You invest time and effort because you care about its growth. In a loving relationship, even when you face challenges or disagreements, you work through them together because the connection and commitment are strong. You don't avoid your partner. Instead, you seek to understand and resolve issues, and you find comfort and strength in their presence. Avoidance and growing distance can be signs that you're not as emotionally invested in the relationship as you might have thought. It could be a defense mechanism to protect yourself from getting too attached. Or it could be an indication that the initial excitement has worn off, revealing a lack of deeper connection. It's important to reflect on why you're pulling away. Is it because the novelty of the relationship has faded, revealing a lack of true compatibility? Or are there underlying issues that need addressing? Recognizing and understanding these feelings can be key to determining whether your relationship is based on a temporary infatuation or has the potential to develop into lasting love. Alright, let's dive into the fifth point, preoccupation and avoidance of serious discussions in your relationship, and how this might be more related to infatuation than true love. Picture yourself at a party where you're constantly checking your phone, or looking over your shoulder, not fully engaged in conversations around you. You're there, but your mind is elsewhere. This is similar to how you might feel in a relationship marked by infatuation rather than love. When you're infatuated with someone, the relationship often stays at the surface level. You might enjoy the fun times, the laughter, and the excitement. But when it comes to delving into deeper, more meaningful conversations, you might find yourself disengaging or changing the subject. These conversations could be about your future together, your feelings, your values, or even addressing problems in the relationship. Avoiding these talks is like avoiding the heart of the relationship, the part that determines its depth and sustainability. In contrast, genuine love involves a willingness to explore these deeper topics. Think of it like diving into a pool. The surface is fun, but the true beauty and depth are found when you dive deeper. In a loving relationship, you feel safe and interested in engaging in these conversations. You want to understand your partner's hopes, fears, and perspectives, and you're open to sharing yours. This doesn't mean it's always easy. These discussions can be challenging, but they're vital for building a strong, lasting bond. If you notice that you're often preoccupied or steering clear of serious topics, it might be a sign that you're not fully invested in the relationship, or perhaps you're uncomfortable with the vulnerability these conversations require. Infatuation tends to skirt around the edges of intimacy, while love is willing to dive into the depths. It's in these depths that you find a stronger, more meaningful connection, one that's built on understanding, trust, and genuine intimacy. Let's explore the sixth point: experiencing anxiety and physical symptoms in a relationship, and how this might suggest infatuation rather than true love. Think of a time when you had an important event coming up, maybe an interview or a big presentation. You feel nervous, maybe there's a knot in your stomach, your heart races, you can't sleep well. This kind of anxiety is a natural response to stressful situations, but what does it mean when these feelings show up in your relationship? In the context of infatuation, these symptoms can often arise. Why? Because infatuation is typically filled with uncertainty and insecurity. You might constantly worry about how your partner perceives you, whether they will call or if they truly care about you. This constant state of anxiety can manifest physically. You might have trouble sleeping, feel a knot in your stomach, get headaches, or even feel a sense of panic at the thought of the relationship ending. Now let's compare this to a relationship based on genuine love. Love, in its truest form, should feel like a safe haven. It's not that challenges or worries don't exist, but there's an underlying sense of security and trust. You feel confident in your partner's feelings for you and in the stability of the relationship. This security tends to bring peace of mind rather than anxiety. You're more likely to feel calm and reassured, even when facing challenges together. So, if you find yourself regularly experiencing anxiety or physical symptoms related to your relationship, it's worth taking a closer look. Are these feelings stemming from a place of insecurity or uncertainty about your partner's feelings? If so, it might be an indication that the relationship is more about infatuation, which often lacks the foundation of trust and security that characterizes true love. Remember, while it's normal to feel nervous or anxious occasionally, especially in the early stages of a relationship, ongoing anxiety and physical symptoms can be a sign that something deeper needs to be addressed. Genuine love should bring a sense of comfort and security, not ongoing stress and physical discomfort. Conclusion: understanding the heart of your relationship. In conclusion, distinguishing between infatuation and true love is crucial for the health and longevity of your relationship. While infatuation is characterized by an intense but often superficial emotional connection, true love is deeper, encompassing acceptance, understanding, and a willingness to grow together. By recognizing the signs, rushing into relationships, expecting perfection, feeling uncomfortable and self-conscious, growing distance, avoiding serious discussions, and experiencing anxiety and physical symptoms, you can gain a clearer understanding of your own feelings and the nature of your relationship. This insight is not just about identifying areas of concern, but also about cherishing and nurturing the aspects that contribute to a deeper, more meaningful connection. Remember, every relationship is a journey, one that requires introspection, honest communication, and continuous learning. Embrace this journey with an open heart and mind, ready to discover the true essence of love in your life.